Hello, hope you're all having a nice Friday evening. I'm back, and I have a better idea about what I'm going to do today. I'm going to try and colonize the second planet in Oxygen Not Included. I think we've got things at a pretty good spot in our home base, so let's just jump in and we'll prepare to start sending some people over. Hello. Right, so this is the second planet. We did have some people here previously. Just give me a sec. Yeah, there we go. So we did have some people here previously. We dug out a lot of the materials. We shipped some of it back to the home planet. What did we actually ship back? So I believe I think I put a few different things in here. But we took a lot of the resources back with us to help start our initial development. But now I want to come here and set up some kind of base here, because we've got polluted water that we can send home. We've got 2 cold geysers here, and we have no cold geysers on the home planet. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to try and do. So the problem is, there's currently a lot of polluted oxygen hanging out on the other planet. So we're going to need to send someone over who's not afraid of germs and have them sort of clean up the place so that we can send more people. We had Travado there for a while, but he was just extracting resources. That was his job. Oh, we've got principles. Let's have a look. Do I want any of these guys? I don't think so. There we go. So we've got 24 dupes at the moment. 24 beds. All the facilities are 24 dupes. So I might start hiring some more dupes, but sending them to the other planet. There's still 1 or 2 things we're trying to do. So we're trying to get the hot tub working, but that doesn't really matter if I'm being honest. Cooling wise, this iron volcano is a little hot. It's not quite cooling down enough, and we have some trees that are starting to overheat. I think it might just be this one tree, so we may need to come back and up our cooling loop, make it more powerful. I mean, we've got ethanol in here at the moment because we wanted to keep the fridge cold, but I'm beginning to think the best thing to do would actually be to drain the ethanol out of this tank and put polluted water in instead, because the polluted water we have in spades, and it will go all the way down to minus 20-ish before freezing, which is cold enough for the freezer, and it holds more heat in it, so it's more efficient with the thermoacquatuner. So I think that's probably the first thing we'll do, is we'll do that. So I mean, this is a lot of ethanol. We did make a lot. I'm just going to put it here for now. We'll find a use for it later. So, let's put in some liquid reservoirs. Am I dumb? They're liquid. There they are. Right. So we'll just put those here for now. And what we'll do is we'll just take a bridge. We'll, what I'll do is I'll put a bridge here, and that'll take the ethanol off the loop, and then we'll deconstruct the pipe here and rebuild it to go down this way. Because I don't think this is currently being used. Yeah, that's alright. And then that can just feed into these tanks like this. Very easy. I'm going to try and keep it cold. But, I mean, I'm not super fast. So this should drain the cooling loop. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fill it with polluted water. we have a load of polluted water stored up here. So we're going to need to figure out how to empty that without jeopardizing everything else. But let's get rid of all the ethanol first. Get research done in the meantime. Yeah, we'll start doing rocket stuff. We're probably going to set up a rocket fairly soon. The other thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this this shut-off here and just bridge it the same way I've done the other cooling loop, which is this one. Much simpler, and to be honest, I just want to gradually reduce the temperature. I don't need it to come out of this super cold. I just need it to keep absorbing the heat and keep circulating. In fact, the circulation is probably just as important as the actual temperature. So yeah, let's try it. It's going to take a while to empty this pipe out into here, but that's fine. Frankie is actually stressed. Why are you stressed? Low morale. Lack of hot tub. The water's currently too cold, but the hot tub is too hot. I don't know. Stop worrying about that. Seems like sweeping the base is going pretty well. So the more of that I do, the better. So let's just re-queue all of this up. There we go. Yeah, this is going to take a while to empty. Oh, we need to build this pipe too. Yeah, that would help. So what I'm thinking is, if we're going to start properly colonizing this planet, the first thing I want to do is probably send Tribaldo back, because he's germ resistant. He's got an iron stomach. And what we just need to do is, I mean, we've been burning a lot of algae on this planet. Yeah, we'll send Tribaldo to start, and we'll set up some quarters and just try and make a few things, like make this a smaller base but make it sustainable. And we'll need to hook up the teleporter receiver as well. So where is that on this planet? There it is. So that actually still needs to be activated as well. But we'll want to receive things here because we want to be able to ship stuff from the other colony as needed. Yeah, let's replace the cooling loop first. I had this cooling loop full of ethanol because I was trying to get the freezer super cold, but the problem is there's just not enough heat capacity in the ethanol. So I think for now we're going to replace it with polluted water. And hopefully that'll do a bit better. Because currently this loop is doing a lot of duty. It's cooling the oxygen coming out of the electrolyzer. It's trying to cool this water. It's cooling the fridge/freezer. And it's trying to cool the Dreco rooms. And to be fair, it's done a pretty good job. Like, it's an Aridio base, but all the cold rooms are cold. This room is being cooled by natural gas in a thermoregulator instead. But yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking of doing, was putting metal tiles, putting a metal tile here, and having the carbon dioxide geyser dump the chill into this bit with the steam turbine and with the thermoregulator. And then I can move this out of the base, because at the moment, is generating a load of heat, and it's heating up this part of the base. So that's bad. I don't really want to tile this up. But yeah, I'm actually tempted to try that. I'm not sure how effective that's actually going to be in the long run, but could be beneficial just to get that heat out of the base. So I'll make this out of gold amalgam. But we can just replace all of these tiles with metal. That will probably help. And then... the only thing is, this approach is slightly complicated by where the neutronium is. So we'd want it to feed on first, then to a bridge, then to skip over. So in principle that should be fine. Go down like that, then hook up this way. And we'll bring it back onto loop here. And then we'll feed it. Ooh. Is there any way we can do this without having to go through here? I think there is. Let's deconstruct this. And then we can bridge it. Go around? No, but we need to get in here as well. I think I may just need to bite the bullet and open this room up. Okay, that's definitely not what I meant to do. Let's cancel that. What I want to do is just bring this down here instead. It's not exactly symmetrical. I think I'll have to find a way to cope with that. I mean, if I'm breaking into this room, I could just do this. Oh, and then we need the thermosensor. That needs to go here. But actually, we need to move this one tile over. So we put that there, we put the bridge here. Yeah, I guess that works. Let me put the thermosensor here. I'm just trying to replicate the above setup, but just in this different space. Then we'd insulated tile this, so all the heat would only, all the chill from the guys would only come down here. So we need to break into here as well. Let's see, so priority 9, all of this, please. I mean, wait, what? What the heck happened here? Okay, that doesn't need to be priority. What? Okay. There we go. Another snazzy suit, so I think that's one person left. Yep, there you go. So... I mean, I feel like at the moment, we don't even have to deconstruct the old loop. But what we could do is we could put a bridge here, and then that would empty the old loop. Yes, and that would empty the old loop, so we wouldn't have to release any natural gas anywhere. So let's do that. Where we've released a load of CO2 from this geyser, but that's not a problem. It was hot. It was fairly hot anyways. In fact, I might as well just make this a mechanized airlock and lock it. And that way, if we do want to come back in here, we can just come back in here. So we want it to cool to 28, so let's copy that over. I'll probably make this a metal tile too. How's the ethanol draining going? Oh wow, we've already drained the whole loop. That was really quick. How much ethanol even was that? That was a single tank. Okay. I way over-egged that one. So we need to hook some polluted water back onto that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a temporary pipe that'll go like this. So it's going to take half of the current input from these tanks. And then we'll just bring it down here and we'll let it on by the fridge. So I can bring it down here. Crap. I should really just do the shift thing, but I just like doing things one-handed. We'll put in a bridge. And then we'll put in a bridge here. And that should work. And then we can start filling this loop with germy, polluted water. Okay. So we need power to go in here as well. At the moment, that's hooked up to... At the moment, that's hooked up to a producer. That should just be hooked up to a consumer. It should be hooked up to this line. So... what I could do is I could just bring this wire straight down here. Oh, no I can't. I'm a fool. I'm a foolish fool. We can bring it down here. Then, how do we get the steam turbine out without leaking a load of heat from this room? I mean, I'm going to be honest, we're already leaking a load of heat from this room. What I could do is I could just construct it like that, deconstruct this, deconstruct this, and then hook it up down here. Yeah, let's do that. So, priority 9 all of this, please. I would put 2 here, but I don't think we even want that much thermoregulation here. Just Uno second, please. Right, this is getting there. We have a lot of steam in this stream. I'm gonna want to get in here at some point. Sounds like a good idea. Could just dump all this salt water in here and find out what's going on. Might as well. So then we can just connect this up like that. And that gets us where we want to be. These wires have gotten very complicated. So that did not work as intended. It actually filled up the other pipe because it's draining from here as well. And in fact, let's just confuse the whole loop. Right, let's deconstruct this. I may have to deconstruct a single pipe segment. Let's deconstruct this one. Wait. What the heck is this? What? What happened? What happened? I did not... I did no such thing. I'm reloading this. No one's watching. That was a glitch. You didn't see anything. I'm hoping that happened the last autosave. I really hope they haven't just been building that the whole time. No. Okay, that's good. We did we did lose most of this progress. Right, okay. Okay, let's make the most of this opportunity and do it slightly differently. Christ, spam alert. What we'll do this time is we'll flip this. We'll bring in pipe from here. Then we'll go like that. We'll do that. There we go. Symmetrical. Oh, except this isn't what we want at all because we need to put the sensor in. Damn it. Okay, let's try that again. We'll just put it here. We haven't even built it yet, so let's not count our chickens before they hatch. So deconstruct. We'll insulate tile this. Metal tile this. We'll disable this. And then the power wires need to change as well, so deconstruct this. Deconstruct that, deconstruct that, deconstruct that. I'll just connect this one down here this time. Door goes here. Element sensor, no, thermosensor goes here. Then automation wire. Did I hook up the polluted water yet? Ah, bollocks, I did that. Well, okay. Like this. There we go. Priority 9, please. And we have drained all the ethanol, or I guess it's still draining at this point. So I'm going to speed through this. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So that's going to start going down there. So let's deconstruct that pipe. And did we let any natural gas out? We did not. We were lucky. Okay. So now we can deconstruct all of this pipe work. And then we can empty this pipe. Then we need to hook this up like that. And hook this up like that. And then we should be good to go. And that should at least move that massive heat producer out of this area. The base. Should help the tree. What? What happened here? The oil got blown out. What happened? Let's let the... let's let this back in. We do not want this liquid lock to break. I don't actually understand what happened. Yeah, we need that to be liquid, otherwise we're just going to vent all the natural gas out of here. So let's do this now. I'm honestly not sure what happened. Like, we had, like, tons of oil here. Really? No one's gonna come and do this? Fine, we'll deconstruct it then. Reconstruct it. Not sure why that's bugged out. So that is currently overheating. Okay, let's make that out of steel. There. Loads of steel anyways. Oh, right, oh, yeah, I blocked access to this room. Okay. Not quite sure why that happened. I don't think I intended for them to actually build this. Go back in and fix that right away. Oh, we replaced the bottom of the liquid lock. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, all the oil dropped down here. That's what happened. I wasn't watching. Right, okay. Not particularly helpful. So Devon's going to go build a thermoregulator. Someone is going to go get oil. Why is this... Oh no! Why is this stopped? Okay, it hasn't. It's fine. Why was it taking damage? Oh, yeah, that pipe took a load of damage at the end of last episode. Yeah, that's fine, because we replaced it with insulated pipe. Okay. So, the cooling loop is currently filling with polluted water. And it will start being cooled soon. Oh, it's going to take an absolute age to fill this again. In the meantime, we're just going to be venting all this natural gas down here. I'm going to change the stream title because I don't think we're going to do the second planet today. I think we're just going to be shoring up all this stuff in the base. Right. I don't know what we're doing today, so there's an accurate stream title. That does not need to be yellow alert. So we're going to put in a new liquid lock here. And that's going to be just for getting access to the room. My ambition was too high. This needs to be replaced with steel. And we are currently starving, so we need to eat some more critters. Let's eat these guys. We need to fill any ranches. I believe we do. Let's fill it up. How's tree doing? Not great. I feel like this gas is cooler than it was. Or at the very least, we're generating all this heat in this room, as opposed to the other one. Oh no! We're sending the polluted water into these tanks instead. We need to disconnect this. Right, disconnect. No, that was the wrong thing! Right, disconnect. Reconnect. Right, so at least we're not dumping all of our polluted water in here now. Yeah, keep filling this with oil. At least our oxyferns are working again. Gotten rid of a lot of the CO2 in the base, but it's still just forming some layers. But yes, I believe we are going to start cooling this polluted water down. Let's set this to -20. I think I'm just going to need to come in here and replace that whole setup as well. The oil refinery is overheating. Okay, makes sense. Let's make that out of gold. Any a crash? It's probably because I mass wrangled all those guys. That's usually what causes crashes in this game for me. It's like mass wrangling. Wow, this has not been a very smooth start. Well, at least it auto-saved. So let's try and fix this issue. Let us try and fix this issue. Right, so let's cancel all of these wrangles. as I believe that's what was causing the problem. So we need to remove the liquid bridge. And what else do we need to do? We're filling that up. Jumbo battery needs to be deconstructed. Oil refinery will need to be replaced as well. So let's do that. Okay, so the polluted water is starting to go back onto this loop. Looks like someone hasn't taken their snazzy suit. There you go. Yes, you need to deconstruct this. I did say you need to deconstruct this. There you go. We'll fill this with oil as well. A somewhat lower priority. And then we'll, once that is full, we'll get rid of this and we'll block this off again and we'll just expand the room out a little bit. Now that's taking damage. Oh, blimey. Yeah, I guess having the thermoregulator in here is doing that. So let's replace that with gold. I believe in you, you can do it. You're taking an absolute age, aren't you? Okay. So let's put that there. This should be 25. Actually, let's make that 28. We're slowly getting here with this liquid lock. Shouldn't be too much longer. Are you serious? The way the dupes do errands in this game is confusing. Ah, yes, I forgot to switch this to minus 20. I mean, if it does break, it's... Oh, the pipe itself is actually broken. Okay. Deconstruct. Rebuild. The polluted water gets in here, it's not the end of the world, because we will evaporate it eventually. High stress. Okay. We need to turn this off the moment the pile over pressurizes. Yes. There we go. then yeah, you need to build that pipe. Why are you all tired? Okay, let's see how that goes. And then we'll put in a steel battery here. Right, so this actually needs to be set. So what is the polluted water will freeze at -23 is the temperature will actually freeze at. So let's set this to -8. And then it shouldn't break. In theory, once this starts working, it should be more efficient for cooling. But we'll see how that goes. Well, the freezer has gone right back up to 30 degrees, so clearly we've done something right. Let's do a little bit of wrangling. Just a little bit. You want at least a single pip in here. Because we're going to want to make this the natural resources room. No, the nature reserve room. That's what we want to do. At least our natural gas storage is working again now. Didn't completely break it. So, I think this is working as intended. Although, for now, I'm gonna just brick that in and see if that works on its own. We'll extend this ladder here. Because what I basically want to know is this going to be able to handle all of the cooling? I don't think this is breaking anymore. We're just going to need to leave that running for a bit, I think. Yeah, I'm just curious as to how this goes. I'm also curious as to why Frankie's stress is so high. What's his stress reaction as well? He's destructive, so we really shouldn't let him stress out too much. Is it worth putting in some massage clinics? And what's happened with this loop? I believe it's more or less full now? No, not quite. We'll wait for it to get full and then we'll disconnect this again. Oh, god damn it, you've not managed to get to bed on time. No one has, probably because we've been loading autosaves and people have been missing their bedtimes. Hmm. Let's speed to it a little bit. Just want to see how effective this cooling loop is once it really kicks into high gear. We're letting the water through, it is cold. It's technically more efficient. I just need to get it to work properly. Just take the barbecue. Oh my god, Max, no. What are you doing, Max? Go here. There you go. Right, how is the tree doing? So the tree temperature is dropping. This is technically working. The question is it all going to overheat as soon as I insulate it? Let's find out. These steam turbines are getting quite hot as well. We don't really have room to put in a fourth turbine. Hmm. I haven't quite got around to analysing this yet. We might as well now that we've got the actual now that we've got the actual exosuits there. That's fine. Temperature is creeping up in this room. So, what is the temperature of the natural gas actually doing in the pipe? It comes in here, and it comes out here about 7 degrees hotter. These mealwoods are starting to roast, so they... Is this actually not enough cooling with this natural gas loop? Feels like it's extremely close. Well, we'll keep running this for a little bit and see if it works. Was there anything else we wanted to do in the meantime? Got absolutely loads of plastic. Let's just do the while we're waiting for all this to test to see if it works. Have we filled this liquid lock yet? Not completely. Once we fill this, we can expand this room out again. And I want to do the thing here. So actually, let's yellow alert sweep all of this. I want to empty the room. I want to drop specific amounts of probably sulfur. Sulfur, or is it something else I want? Solidify. If I do algae, then it should just turn to dirt. What I'll do is I'll just drip a really hot liquid on it. So can you guys actually sweep all of this? I believe you can. So one other problem I've identified with this setup is that this steam turbine is going to need to cool this a lot more than it used to, because it's the polluted water for high heat capacity. So we're relying on this a lot more for the heat dissipation now. But if it is just going into this room, that should be fine. And I guess we'll see. Just continue with the research in the meantime. See how much it cools by this geyser. So we'll speed it up. It's currently at 98.6. Let's see what happens. So the metal tile starts cooling down. What about the steam turbine? Yeah, that is cooling as well, so this is having the desired effect. I'm not really sure how much total cooling this is. Then what's going on with this oxygen? Is that cooling down? It's difficult to say. What's the tree doing? Tree is cooling down. The fridge is cooling again. So the water is clearly cold that is actually coming through here. Still kind of in the process of feeding more water onto the loop. Circuit overloaded. Okay. Because we have a battery here. If I set the battery like this, then it should just keep cycling on and off. And that way it shouldn't ever overload. But we do need the battery here to regulate these, I believe. It probably even makes more sense to do it like this. So, I mean, we can technically start breaking in here, I think. So let's do that. Let's seal that in and just start deconstructing these bits here. And then we can think about how we're going to relay out this room. Is this sweeping actually happening? No. Why not? Bin's full. They shouldn't be full. These errands just aren't getting done. Why not? Why aren't these errands working? You can come out there. We just need to build these storage bins somewhere else. If I put one here, will that work? Well, it looks like the room is actually cooling down with the guys' help. So perhaps this will be sufficient for now. The water is coming out cold. Oh, blimey, I've got so many skill points building up. I just don't think I want to spend those anymore. I mean, probably spend some of them. Spend them on the new dupes. Yeah, you might as well head towards Exosuit. You've got two, lucky you. Yeah, I think that will do for now. I don't want to overload these guys on morale. Yeah, so we're back in here now. What else do I want to do? So... I do want to put in another row of natural gas plants because we do have two geysers that we're feeding onto this now. But let's do this first. So no one is going to do that. I'm gonna reload this. I'm gonna save and reload it because the game's been messing about today. I don't know why. Let's see if it recognizes those errands. Hmm. Yeah, let's see if this gets the storage to work. I don't know why it's not been. So we should have errands on this now. No, we just don't. No one's sweeping. Why is no one sweeping? That is very frustrating. Oh. Oh, people are going to do it. It's just not showing up on the menu. Okay, great. I approve. So we'll go store all this stuff and then we'll get making the nature reserve. Because I want to try that. Yes, it's actually working now. Good job. Get rid of this pitcher pump. There is no liquid down here anymore. But yeah, we're just continually revising our systems. Like we moved the thermoregulator down here because this tree is getting too hot. So we're trying to cool the tree back down by removing heat sources from our base. I think we've done a pretty good job. But it might just be too much cooling for this natural gas loop to handle. Like, these plants are starting to heat up again. We swapped the ethanol out for polluted water in our cooling loop. I'm hoping that's going to be a bit more efficient. I think we're at a point where we can disconnect this. We'll disconnect this for now because I don't want it to overfill. So, yeah, this is all almost swept up now. That's good. And we're going to expand our natural gas room. So now we can deconstruct these. And then I believe how we're going to do this is we're just going to set up storage bins, and we're going to fill them with like 2 kilograms each of algae. And then we're going to drip hot liquids on them. I believe that will work. What hot liquids do we have? We have the hot oil. This isn't really moving at the moment. But we can pump the oil out of there and do something with that. Well, what temperature does the petroleum come out as? We actually disassembled our oil refinery. Let's rebuild that out of gold. Yeah. We'll put in storage bins here, and we'll just fill them with 2 kilograms each of algae, or something. We're gonna have 4 natural gas plants. They'll just about fit with the ladder. So we're gonna need to position the ladder carefully in this room. I think we'll just have the ladder come down here, just down this side. Yeah, because the rest of this will be for the polluted water storage. So we'll set these to 1 kilogram. We do 0.1 kilogram? No. Then we'll set these to organic. No. Organic algae. So we'll fill those all with 1 kilogram of algae each, and then we'll deconstruct them. And then we'll sweep the... Keep that one there. And then we'll sweep the igneous rock from the storage bin. So only the algae tile will remain. So let's set that to priority 9. And yeah, it's going to be quite a bit of effort to revamp this room, but I think it's going to be worth it. Having 4 natural gas generators in here will be a lot of power output, although we're going to have to reroute most of these wires, so that's going to be slightly tricky. So let's bring them over there. Yeah, we'll deconstruct those airflow tiles as well. So we'll have the 4 natural gas generators. We'll have... Probably have the polluted water thing go up a little bit, because they'll still need to wander down here. It doesn't actually need... We can actually bring that up here, I think. We can have the mesh tile that it sits on. And then we can just have the polluted water run through the mesh tile into this room. That can work. And then we need to make sure that we can actually get back into this room as well. These stupid batteries. Right, well this one can be set to 5, because we just need it to turn on and off to turn the power plant off, and then we can deconstruct this. We don't need that battery anymore. We can just deconstruct all of this here. Oh wait, we don't even need the smart battery anymore, because we just disconnected the coal entirely. We no longer need it. We can just deconstruct all of this. It's fine. So, how's this going? Yeah, I think the main thing this episode is going to be, or this evening is going to be, revamping this room, changing all the power wires. I can get this sort of preemptively done. I'm just going to set this all to priority 9 now. Because I want to keep all the wires here clear. Because we'll have another row of producers. We'll need to feed that onto one of these transformers up here. So if I set it to yellow alert, there is algae. So we'll get these all filled. Then I think what we do, I'm not even sure this is the correct way of doing this. We would take a liquid valve. We would put liquid valves over each of these bits. That's a lot of liquid valves. And we'd set those to 0 grams flow, and then we'd manually change them to 1 to turn them on individually. Oh no. What we could do is we could just have shutoffs. We could have shutoffs, vents, and switches. Yeah, that's what we could do. So we would need shutoffs. The reason I'm doing it like this is just so I can drop liquid on whatever specific tile I want. And in fact, we need to make these out of something hot because this is going to be hot liquid. So, well, we need to make them out of something heat resistant. That's what I meant. So let's make them out of. Let's make them out of steel. We're going to disassemble them again when we're done. What temperature will the petroleum come out of this? Let's get that built. Okay, so now we can deconstruct all of these. We can sweep all of the non-algae out of here. Wow, it's a real party. We got everyone. So that should leave us with, yeah, 1,000 grams of algae per tile, and then the igneous rock. So need to sweep everything that's not algae. So we'll do this manually. Should just be left with 1 tile of algae, or 1 kilogram of algae on each tile. Is this pipe gonna get in the way of this? What? Are they sweeping the algae as well? Ah, Christ. I'm literally telling them just to sweep the algae. No, I'm literally just telling them to sweep the igneous rock. Oh, this is gonna annoy me. Let's try again. Oh no, I think what's happened is they've just taken the algae and they put it somewhere. Oh yeah, they've just taken it and put it here. Oh god. Right, okay, turn that off. We don't actually need to accumulate all the algae there anymore. That's what happened. So what temperature does the petroleum come out of here? At least 75 or hotter if the materials are hotter. So what we're actually going to want is we're going to want the crude oil out of these refineries. Right, let's just try with the algae again. There you go. And we'll just wire this up like this. These aren't all going to operate at once anyways. I've never done this making natural tiles before. But in the meantime, we can work on all this. So we can deconstruct this wire now. This is where we're going to have the fire pole and the transit tubes and all that stuff. Overheated, yep. Gotta keep replacing this stuff. Okay, so now we can deconstruct these again. We need automation wires as well, like this. I probably don't need to make the whole floor dirt, but I felt like it. Right, so you guys should not be picking up the algae, because you don't have anywhere where you need to go put the algae. Let's keep a close eye on this. It looks like it's worked. You guys just feel like you're having a really productive day. And the reason I'm doing this with algae is because if algae gets heated to 125 degrees, it will melt into dirt. It will melt into a tile, I believe. The room is already quite hot as well, so it shouldn't actually take too much coaxing. But I want to kind of flick each tile on individually. So for that, I just want to drop like 10 kilograms of hot oil in here. So what we could even do... I'm very tempted to set up a room where we can cook a really hot liquid, boil it a really high temperature. Do something really stupid. No, actually, no. I'm getting out of control. Let's just hook some oil from one of these metal refineries. What we'll do is... but it needs to be hot enough to actually cook. Actually cook this. So... I could do something very interesting. I could send some oil through this hot room. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll send some oil through this hot room. So we'll bridge that in. We'll put in, say, a radiant pipe. And then we'll make insulated pipe. And for now, we're just going to make this out of ceramic, because we can. And we're just going to do something like this. We're going to deconstruct all of this when we're done. I just want to see if you can actually do it like this. This actually feels like a phenomenal waste of time, but if we can get a nature reserve right by our main Atmos suits, then it'll be worth it. But the algae is all here, ready to do the thing. So what I'm going to want to do is... I'm going to want to disable the steam turbines. This is dangerous. I just want the heat to keep building up in this room. And then, what we would do is we would put a shut-off here, a liquid shut-off. Will this actually fit here? Yes, and I'm going to make it out of steel. So what we would do, we'd have the radiant liquid pipe, we'd have it go there, and then we build the insulated liquid pipe coming up here. And then we'd put a thermosensor here, hook that up with the automation wire, and then when the oil gets cooked to 275 degrees, then we'll send it into the ceramic. It should just sit at that hot temperature in the pipe. That is the aim. And this volcano is not going to go dormant for a while, so this should work. This feels like so much effort for such a small project, but I want to try it. I'm just curious now. I feel like the stream title is now actually accurate. But hey, at least I'm not having any internet troubles tonight. Right. Everyone's relaxing, we've got food. Is the cooling loop working? It's not, it's overfilled. We need to empty some of this out. Problem is, it's quite easy to overfill this loop because these bits only turn on if the room is cold. So let's empty out the pipe as well. Probably in here. Cracked pipe contents. Yeah, we just need this loop to actually circulate. Okay, let's speed to it. I just want to get this built. That could be our project for today. This room should overheat fairly quickly without the steam turbines working. And the room should end up at a fairly consistent temperature because of all of the iron circulating around the conveyor belts. In fact, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to set this to 250. Because I don't want all the stuff in here to just break. So then we're going to want vents. No, we're going to want switches, and then we're going to want vents. So the vents will go here. Oh. I didn't quite think that through. So we're going to need to move the petroleum line. So that it goes down here. I presume we're still going to want petroleum. We'll need to sweep all of this out. Yeah, that's fine. So then we can put switches here. See, this is the advantage of having the base fundamentals sorted out. Is I can waste loads of time on a stupid project like this. And we don't actually have any blossom seeds on this planet, so I'll take those. I'm not sure what we're going to do with them yet. Looks like our Paku numbers keep increasing. It's always a good sign. This is the one room we haven't got hooked up to the power spine yet. I'm sad. But I guess it's good to have like at least one manual generator, because that way people get to exercise. How's the tree looking? So the tree is actually mostly cool enough now. So I believe the CO2 geyser is actually enough cooling for these two items, even with the extra liquid in the loop. That's good. So let's have a look at this. So now we can hook that up like that. And then deconstruct these. See how that goes. And we'll want to put in the vents. And these vents are going to get covered when tiles are formed. Okay, maybe not aluminium. He was like, oh. We'll make those out of iron ore. It lags quite a bit when I place these. Then we'll extend the ceramic down here. Thank God this isn't permanent. I wouldn't want to be spending like 30 tons of ceramic on this setup and then just like leaving it forever. So I imagine this room will heat up once the iron volcano erupts. Looks like Frankie's less stressed again as well, which is also good. So yeah, we're doing the world's silliest project at the moment. We're trying to cook some dirt tiles. And I haven't done this before. I don't quite know what's involved. But yeah, find out. The plan is to have a tiny amount of algae here and drop individual blobs of hot crude oil on them and cook them into very small dirt tiles. And the ultimate goal is I want this room here to be a nature reserve. Because that's where all my atmosuit docks are. I want to see if this is possible, how I'm interpreting it. So we've actually disabled the steam turbines. We're going to have this iron volcano heat the room up to 275-ish. And then we'll accumulate all of the hot oil in the ceramic pipe. And then when we want to do each tile, we'll just flick it on. You can just see little blobs of algae. Building broken. Oh no. Oh no. That didn't quite work. We need to set this temperature a little higher. So let's set it to -7. See if that works. Deconstruct and reconstruct this pipe. Our cooling loop got a bit too full. That's what the current problem is. We're just trying to empty it again. So in the meantime, we have a missing power transformer we need to replace. My original goal was to go colonize the other planet, but I realized that I still had a few things to do here. So that's what we're doing today. So the room is getting hotter very quickly. That is causing the... Is that causing crude oil to heat up? It is. We're going to take a few minutes, but temperature is increasing. And then we'll let it into the ceramic once it hits, say, 250. We We haven't had any oil come in for a while. It's just coming from this leaky oil fissure, but there's not a lot of it. Oh, and we need a power wire here. That's fine. We can just get that built pretty quickly. Probably shouldn't be building that out of lead. Yeah, let's actually make that out of I guess we'll make it out of cobalt. That's just a random blob of cobalt. Aha. So these need to be flicked off. There we go. I want to do it like this so I can do each tile individually, because I think it will be cool. But odds are this is probably just going to all backfire spectacularly, and I'm just going to fill the base with hot oil or something. We'll see. Either way, it'll probably be somewhat interesting. And then the other goal that we're going to have is just to add more power plants to this natural gas room. I'm still just trying to figure out how I'm actually going to lay this room out. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to have... Because, yeah. I'll have the mesh tiles go across here. That's the layout I want. And then the polluted water will just go into here and it'll get pumped up here again. Well, I need to move a few things. So I should just be able to move this along here without too many issues. And then deconstruct these ladders. We don't need those anymore. We won't need any of these ladders, actually. These ladders have been here for an absolute age. We're actually just venting all of the gas out of this room now. I probably shouldn't be doing this. I should set this pump back to a reasonable pressure, but it's not just working for no reason. Guys will erupt fairly soon anyways. But this room is actually gas sealed now, so eventually, actually yeah, let's keep pumping it, because I want it eventually to just be natural gas in this room. And then we'll store most of it in this very dense area behind this separate liquid lock. So the room is hot, it's about 60 degrees hotter. So we're getting ready to send the oil in. This is actually very close to being ready. It's good because I don't want to waste the whole stream on it. Yes, we'll need to plug this in here. I think we're just going to make these out of steel. Deconstruct these. Ventilation-wise, we're going to want this pipe to go all the way across here, wherever that ends up going. We're going to want the natural gas to end up all the way over here, probably to wherever that ends up going. So we can deconstruct this pipe. Hook that back here. And then if I put one there, one there. So the vent actually connects to the very edge tiles, so we'll actually need to put that all the way over here. And I think what I want to do is I want to actually deconstruct that, deconstruct that, and put in bridges. That way, the outputs shouldn't be obstructed. In the meantime, what's going on with these wires? Because I just want to move them out of the way. So this wire, I can deconstruct it here. And actually, I don't even need to put it here. I can just bring it. I can bring it here. That's fine. So let's priority 9 this. How are the branches doing? Need more pips in the pip branches. Yep. Okay, let's do that. Fill those branches up, please. Still letting the polluted water out here? Oil is hot. It's going to take another half a day. It's probably going to take another full day to get it to the right temperature. Or as hot as we're willing to let it get, anyways. I probably should have made these insulated tiles. They're made of igneous rock. I'm hoping that's good enough. Because if it's not, and the algae never hits that 125 temperature, it should, because it's such a low amount of mass compared to the tile. But if it doesn't, we may have to replace those with igneous rock and then drop the stuff in again. Oh, I think what someone did is they actually put conveyor chutes in, and that's how they did this. They used conveyor chutes to drop in like 1 kilogram of algae each onto the tile. Whereas I just did it with storage bins, constructing and deconstructing. That would have been the really smart way to do it. Unfortunately, I'm not very smart. But in the meantime, we'll keep trying to increase the capacity of this room. So we're going to put in the... So we know this natural gas plant is going to go there. And that one's going to go at the end. Why can't I put it there? Oh, we need the automation to go here as well. So why can't I put the natural... Probably... something to do with... Probably something to do with the pipe bridge. No? Have I just completely bungled where this vent is going? Yeah, that's probably it. Okay, let's hold on. Let's deconstruct this. We'll put it 1 tile over. Yeah, I think that's what the problem is. We'll need to deconstruct the pipe here too. Oh, we're not going to be able to get in this room. Are we? That wire hooking up to... So that wire is actually hooking up to power generators. So we probably can actually fit that there without moving that wire. In fact, I may even extend that wire just to here. For now. We'll probably eventually want these to be on their own producer wire. But I'll figure that out later. So we're gonna need piles here. And what we're probably going to need to do is probably put a mechanized airlock in here just so we can get in and actually access the room if we need to, but then lock it. Still haven't filled this up yet. Well, it's probably because I told everyone else to do different things. Oh, I'm an idiot. I moved this gas bridge the wrong way. Okay. What is going on with the oil? It's still not ready yet. It's fine. So we actually need to put this here. Then deconstruct this pipe. There we go. So now all the carbon dioxide should just flow around the outlets and behave. The natural gas will come in here. Do I need to do anything with... I'll set this to 360. We don't put too much natural gas. Although at this point we're almost going to be consuming a full load of natural gas anyways. We'll need to hook up the automation wire as well. So that will need to go to this battery. So we can deconstruct that. Put this. We're going to let some polluted water down here. That's not really a problem. I think what I'll actually do is, now we've got the liquid lock in here, I'll set this to 4,000. And then hopefully it'll just fill with natural gas and then the polluted oxygen will just stop coming out. Getting very close. In fact, this may actually be all the modifications we need to this room. The last thing we may need to do is just hook this up to a different transformer. But for now, I'm actually just going to keep it there. Because the iron volcano is not going to be on all the time. If we get a circuit overloaded, it'll be because this and the steam turbine trying to load the transformer at the same time. That's not what I was looking. That's not the one I was concerned about. Interesting. So we fit in another 2 natural gas generators in this room, but we haven't actually managed to fit in room for anything else. Once we've am I getting some internet issue? Once we've finished this liquid lock, I can deconstruct some of this stuff here, probably eke out a little bit more space. I mean, how big is this fertilizer machine? Because I'd quite like to put a fertilizer machine in here. So that is 4x3. That's not super convenient. I mean, we could just get rid of the light on the oil refinery and then fit it in, and then we'd ladder up here instead. I think we'd want to ladder up there instead anyways. I mean, it doesn't look like the polluted water comes out of that airlock, so that's good. Right, this oil is heating up again. That's good. So let's deconstruct all this again. I know I just told you to build the oil refinery. What are you ill of? Food poisoning. Okay. So we can just move these pipes one over. That's not a problem. Then we can get rid of these ladders. Okay. Yeah, it looks like this is working properly. So we're going to put the oil refinery one bit over here. And then pipes will just go like that. Power wire will just go like that. I can disconnect, I can deconstruct this wire. Deconstruct those wires. Something along those lines. And then I can build that, deconstruct this. And sweep up the oil. Getting close to that being full. I mean, it's still working, but I just want to fill it. And then we can put in the fertilizer synthesizer here. That requires polluted water in a pump. Or in a pipe. So we're going to need to move this output pipe. And the polluted water we can actually just take straight from here. So that's convenient. Let's let's just do that. So yeah, this is what we'll actually do. We'll just deconstruct this. And then if the fertilizer if the fertilizer synthesizer is full, then it will go to the rest of the base. Very convenient. It's almost like the devs intended you to put these items all in the same room. Okay, we're dropping some polluted water through. That's fine. I think. Yeah, then we can just hook this up like this. There was definitely a neater way of doing that pipe work. Let's actually just... hold on. Just a sec. I mean, we need the bridge there anyways, but what we could do is we could just put the bridge here. So, cancel this. Put a bridge here. And then run it like this. There we go. And then we only have one pipe sticking out. In the meantime, what's going on with our oil? It's still not hot enough. We've got some very hot iron coming through here, and this room is just going to keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter. But we will eventually have our hot oil. We'll just do one more volcanic eruption, I think. I mean, the real answer is a lot of the heat is getting leaked out of here. And we need this to be hooked up as well. So consumer-wise, actually, let's hook these items up to this power line instead. Because this one's overloaded by the... Oh, that's why we did it like that. Okay. Yeah, because the aqua tuner is going to consume so much power, it's just going to keep tripping out if we hook too many things on that wire. So we'll do it like this instead. Then we can start making fertilizer. We have plenty of dirt. So this can be our starting rocket oxidizer. So I believe that's what you can use fertilizer for. Because we're not actually doing a lot of farming, so I don't think there's any real need for it from a farming point of view. And then if I really wanted, I could expand this out here. And then there'd be more room for stuff in here, but that might not even be necessary. I might just leave it like that. Put some paintings. Put some paintings in here. We have reed fiber again. Let's do it. Priorities. Beautiful. We've got 700 kilograms per tile in here now. That's a lot. So that's why we've got these up here. So power-wise, what is going on? We're wasting natural gas generator overproduction. So this hasn't quite worked. So let's set this back to what it previously was. I feel like with the current settings, a lot of power is getting wasted. So at the moment, it's overproducing natural gas power. What it's saying. Oh, yeah, because these need to be hooked to their own smart battery that's on their own circuit. We can do that. So we can put that here. And then we can change the automation wiring. That's what's happening. So deconstruct. Priority 9, all of that. We need more food. Eat the Draco. There you go. Well, we've got Draco eggs accumulating in here as well, so I'll just order them to eat the entire room. How is the room going? Oh, this is broken again. Really? Is that just constantly working? Let's sort this out. Yeah, this is just sucking down power and not actually doing anything at the moment. Oh, let's set this to -6. Actually, no, let's set that to -5, and then... Yeah, it shouldn't ever freeze in the pipe with that. Did I just deconstruct the wrong thing? I did. Great. Yeah, I think our natural gas room, I think this is how we're going to want it. We've got the two geysers, they should both be hooked up now. We're storing all the natural gas here, and then if we need to burn it, we can burn it here. We shouldn't ever need more than this amount of natural gas geysers for the, or gas generators for these geysers. We've got the one here, and we've got the one down here. And then any other natural gas from, say, oil wells, we can send on the same pipe. And just store it in here. So, not too long before that volcano erupts. Let's just watch that happen, I think. They've left all the algae here, which is good. We are letting some polluted water in here, but I'm just going to lock this off when we're finished. I'll probably set this back to what I had it at before. Let's do that. So who's coming to supply this? Oh, okay, you are. You're right here. That's good. How's filling this going? Guess there's just not a lot of oil at the moment. Volcano should erupt any moment. What else do we want? I guess we'll take the eggs. I mean, this is working for now, but the problem is this geyser's going to turn off eventually, so that's going to be awkward. And this loop hasn't been running a lot. Yeah, it's still too full. We need to keep extracting from here. So we need to set this to same settings. I don't even know why I'm doing this, but I just felt like making it nice and neat because people are going to come in here and refine oil occasionally, I suppose. I think we can lock this now. So let's do that. Oh, no one can actually reach that, can they? Crap. I preempted this. We need to deconstruct this and then build some ladders over here. Got overheating. Conveyor loader. Okay. What? I mean, oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, for now, we're just going to let these overheat because we want the hot oil to go through. I think I'm just going to let it through at this point. I'm kind of... I'm going a bit mad. I'm going to put a tile here too. Just for now. Okay, it should stop overheating now. Oil is going up to about 200-ish. Yeah, this should let you finish off the pipe. I'll just leave it like this for now. We'll just keep the two paintings here. Ripping. The sulfur? Is that dripping? It shouldn't be. Yeah, so now I can build that pipe. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep draining this loop until these bits are all empty, because these should all be optional bits. The loop should be able to run just without factoring it into here. The rest of the loop is non-optional. Building broken. Right. This will work again in a minute. Okay, we can sweep this polluted water up now because that room is locked. And the liquid lock is full, so we can turn this off. Okay. Ah, we caught it. There's a small tile of sulfur. There's a small block of sulfur that's heating up. Right, I'm gonna save it, and I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna try cooking these tiles now. We'll see how that goes. So let's set this to 220 and see what it does. So it's dropping off the packets of hot crude oil. And I'm hoping what will happen is I'll drop the crude oil in and it will just instantly flash the algae to dirt. We'll see what happens. Okay, the moment of truth. Yes! Good. That wasn't quite as neat as I thought it would be. Let's do it here. Yes! We're doing it! I think this is even the correct way of doing it, because you see when the oils come out here, it's already gotten too cold. But it is cooking each individual tile of algae into a 1 kilogram tile of dirt when I flick these switches. Let's trigger the middle one. Yes. It's not quite as neat as I thought it would be, but it is actually working. I feel like it's a fairly uncontrolled process, so I'm just glad I had switches on all of these bits. Yes! No! You're gonna fail. Okay, that one worked. So the problem now is we've ended up with too much hot oil in these tiles. So we'll need to sweep these very quickly. We'll need to sweep these very quickly, and then we can do the last two. But yeah, if you ever wanted to make a dirt floor for a nature reserve, this is how you can do it. I'm actually impressed that this worked, because I've never even tried anything like this before. But yes, let's turn the steam turbines on now. I'm sure these are going to overheat fairly quickly. And then we'll just deconstruct all of this crap. And then we'll dig the tiles, because we'll forget about it or something. No, I'm pleased this actually worked. And then the last step will just be to put the park sign in, put the pip in here, and then to put the seeds in here. And we'll need him to plant from right to left, I believe. What needs to happen? So what is the spacing for pip planting? I honestly can't remember. I'm just going to have a quick look. So don't mind me. So I think we can do every other tile. I think that's what we can do. Right, okay. What priority is a sweep at? Yeah, this should get done. Because now we just need the pips to actually plant on these dirt tiles in the right order. But let's yellow priority this sweep. I just want to get this done. We have still got the algae here, haven't we? Yes, we do. That was very important in this process. That's a glitchy looking sponge you got there. Hmm. It's been a mess. Oh, you've been emptying this the whole time, haven't you? Yeah, that checks out. Okay, you can stop doing that then. By rebuilding this. And then we'll just do the last ones. So, I believe that will need to be swept. I'm a bit scared about this room. I feel like we may have just completely broken the cooling in here. We may need to dump some more salt water in here to absorb some of this heat. In fact, I'm going to deconstruct this and we'll put in another bottle emptier. Yep, okay, so let's grab that. You do what I want you to do. I believe you are. Yep, there you go. So we'll let you move out of the way and then we'll do these last two tiles. And then we can just start deconstructing everything. So the problem with this, actually, is that we have entombed vents. Can we deconstruct the entombed vents? Yeah. Oh, okay, that worked. Okay. So now we can sweep up the oil. And then we just start deconstructing everything. So, deconstruct buildings. No. Deconstruct buildings. Deconstruct those, deconstruct those. Automation-wise, we're going to deconstruct all of this. I hope we can deconstruct the entombed tiles, but I'm not sure we can. If we can't, we're going to have annoying alerts here until the end of time. But that's basically how this game works. You're always going to have annoying alerts in some spots. So then power-wise, we can deconstruct all of this. Piping-wise, yes, let's deconstruct all of this. Literally deconstruct everything. You don't need any of it anymore. All we needed it for is the, yeah, it looks like people can deconstruct this. It's good. Why did I even bother queuing up a sweep command? We're just dropping oil everywhere. What has overheated? Pneumatic door. Yes, that checks out. Looks like no one's used this yet. So, is this working again? It looks like it is. See how long that works for. I think, yeah, I think I need to rebuild this a little bit. But I want to get all this stuff finished first. This is the real project I wanted to do today. I wanted to do the man-made nature reserve. Because I've literally never done one of these before. And this seemed like the perfect spot to do it in. So we've got the dirt, we've got buried object. Yeah. That will be the material from the thing, presumably. This is going to take a while for everyone to deconstruct. I'll just leave the oil in this room. It might even help with the temperature. Not actually too hot in here at the moment. You might even luck out, you know. But for now, let's put some... let's put some more salt water in here. That doesn't need to be yellow, there you go. we're going to need to sweep all of this. I believe that's all the oil now. Who's idle? Oh, okay, we just run out of things to do. Okay, let's empty these and try again. Base sweep continues. Oh, so close. So yeah, at the moment, I'm streaming this most weekday evenings, and if I have any free time at the weekend, I might stream it then as well, but depends. There are some other games I want to try streaming as well. I did try streaming Dyson Sphere program, but my computer, I don't think it's quite powerful enough to play it and stream it at the same time. I was getting a lot of encoding lag. But yeah, we've streamed Noita on here before. We've streamed Surviving Mars. So we may stream some other games in here at some point, but to be honest, I haven't played the Spaced Out DLC properly, so I want to do like a proper long run of this game. And because I'm only streaming for a few hours each night, I'm probably not going to run out of stuff to do in this game for a long time. I mean, even after we've actually done this map as well. Like, this is the Iron Volcano map, where there's like 5 iron volcanoes on this bit alone. So far, we're harnessing 3 of them. And there's another 4 on another planet. But there's another save where there's like 5 liquid sulfur geysers. And I want to try that one. Because I've not actually done any of the Sweetle and Grub Grub related stuff. And I don't really feel like I have much of a point in doing so without like a source of sulfur. But we'll see. Wow, I think the steam turbines have actually just eaten all the heat. I think it's just actually cooling down. Unbelievable. I'll leave this here in case you want to dump more in the future, but I'm actually very impressed, because this was just kind of struggling earlier. Maybe the oil is really helping the heat regulation or something, I don't know. So, let's sweep all of this stuff in here as well when it's finished. We can queue up some more research too. Let's keep going with that. I want to keep consuming these rad bolts. Might as well get it all done now. We have 94 data banks that we can use. So we can research 3 advanced techs. So one of them is going to be solid management, definitely, because I find that very useful for puff ranches where you want to separate the eggs. Oh, I already have that one. Oh, okay, I'm very smart. Well, we'll definitely want the planetary launcher, because I want to try that out at some point. We'll probably want the research reactor. And what else will we want? I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Insufficient oxygen generation. I have not seen that message in a while. Because these guys aren't getting any water because... Why? Oh, because we're out of water from the other planet. Yikes. So we need cold water again. We don't have any cold water. We have hot water. So I think what we do is we take this pump and we hook that up to this pipe. And we'll start feeding the oxyferns with the germy water. I think that aerosolizes the germs, but that may also not actually matter because it's just food poisoning germs. That doesn't need to be yellow alert. But let's try it because it's preferable to running out of oxygen. But this is, yes, this is also a sign that I should not hire any more dupes for the time being. So we've got 2 steam vents that are more or less just feeding electrolyzers. So that is room temperature water, is what we want. I've got a room right here. Okay, so this is all finished. We can sweep all of this. Then we can put in... So I think what I want to do... I want to actually... Right, I want to go from right to left. I think what I want to do is I want to cover all these in tiles. I want to put the critter drop-off here, because it won't fit anywhere else. And then I want the critter to drop off the actual plant there. So... what plants are we going to plant in here as well? I mean, they're not going to live, because it's going to be too hot in here. Seeds do we have? So we have mealwoods, we have mirth leaves. Let's just do mirth leaves. Actually, no, we've got cacti. We can put some wild cacti in here. I think there's a glitch involving planter pots and planter boxes and flower pots that you can also use to wild plant regular plants, but I did want to use an exploit. This is not an exploit, this is actually just a game mechanic that we are just invoking in an unusual way. So seeds, let's put all the cacti seeds in here. It'd be nice to have a nature reserve where all the plants aren't dead. Like this one. If I really wanted, I could go back to this room and do the same thing, but dirt tiles here. I think with how pip planting works, we could have 3 pip planted plants here, 1 here. I'm just going to leave that as it is for now, because this was a lot of effort just for this one place. So yeah, we want 1 pip. But that's a yellow priority. And we'll wrangle a bit. I swear people keep dropping these pip eggs in random places. But it looks like all the ranches are full again. Yes. I believe the cooling loop is working again. The fridge is cold. It's at least refrigerated, so that's better than nothing. So where'd the pit go? How are you gonna get that guy? Oh. You're gonna drown the puddle, are you? No. And of course, the whole time we've been doing this, we've just been accumulating a silly amount of plastic. I think you can guess what the next use of that is going to be. Okay, thank you for that, Frankie. So we have the pip. We have the joyous seed. So we can deconstruct this now. You've got the joyous seed. You've got chubby cheeks. You're figuring out what to do. Can I plant this joyous seed? The answer may surprise you. It's actually yes. No? So I guess we just wait the pip to do its thing. Actually, you're gonna get cooked, aren't you? Livable range 70 degrees. Okay, he's not quite gonna get cooked. Yeah, rummaging for seeds. Yeah, there you go. You rummage some seeds. Now you're gonna plant them. And now you're going to plant them. You're going to be a good boy and plant the seeds. I'm going to use the power of Pipnosis to convince this guy to plant the seed. Oh, are you gonna do it? No. Okay, I'll just come back to you later. You better have done the thing, alright? I don't want people just constantly putting the seeds in and out of here. So the thing about this loop as well is that there's lots of liquid bridges, so kind of not moving evenly. Although I suspect that it's only not moving evenly when it's not letting liquid through here. Maybe we can just leave this for now. So what's the temperature of the oxygen looking like? It is cooling down a little bit. Not very much. Still hot. But the cold rooms are staying cold. These things aren't overheating. So that's good. Got more of the natural gas hooked up. There was one other thing I was going to do. Is I was going to take all of the conveyor chutes for the hot iron. I was actually going to make it so they drop off in the industrial block. So that's something we can do now. So you don't need to make it out of steel. We'll deconstruct this. Give the mechatronic guys something to do. We'll go up here. Actually, no, we can just go around here, can't we? We'll pass the steam turbines. And we'll just take it up here. We'll take it through the insulated... Because, to be honest, we just want to dump off a load of the heat as well. But the iron is primarily going to be turned into steel. So we may as well just do this. So we could do it like that. Oh, that's not right. You can bring this in like this. Then we can just drop it off here. Easy. We can prioritize this, get rid of this chute. We're not just dumping all the hot iron right next to our base. Why was I doing that? Why was I doing that for so long? That was not a very smart idea. So we've got the pip. We've got the cacti. We've got the dirt tiles. And we just need him to plant the seeds in the dirt. We've got some cacti that we're hoping he's going to plant. Yes, it says planting seed. We've got a seed. You're just standing there. Don't do this to me, Pip. I need you to help me. Again, all this stuff is slowly overheating, so we're rebuilding it out of steel. Okay, look, I'm going to turn this off. And you're going to go plant the seed. Oh, it's because we let a load of steam out the room. That wasn't super smart. Okay. Let me just click the thing. Right, we'll just get some more eggs. We need more food. Just cooperate with me, Mr. Pip. I just want you to plant the cactus. You can just plant it right here. I don't mind. You can pick either of the two tiles. It's up to you, Pip. Only you can change the future. So our oxygen generation is still insufficient. Why? So... have we hooked up the water pipe incorrectly? I believe we have. Yes, because that's going to the carbon skimmer rather than all of the consumers. So I needed to move this one tile over. So, deconstruct. How was this originally even connected? I'm very confused. I believe this is connected to the bathrooms. Yes, it is. Okay. So we can deconstruct these. And, whoops. Let's move this whole water pipe over. And then we can deconstruct these liquid bridges too. And then we'll just empty those pipe sections. So let's make that all priority 9. Because to be honest, you guys don't have a lot of other things to do at the moment. Right, Mr. Pip. You're gonna have to cooperate here. Like, I'm paying you a decent amount of money to place the seed in the dirt that I just made with all of my ceramic and everything. I'm still impressed that this room managed to cool down though. Yeah, I guess we let a lot of steam through here. Fine. Oh, we can't even access those tiles, can we? Oh, that's unfortunate. Actually, no, we can access these. Yeah, they're just not doing it. Okay, it's fine. Building broken. Pneumatic door. Yep. So, yeah, that pipe's draining. And then we'll just empty the rest of these. We did not need to put these here. Are you disinfecting a farm tile? We got germs, have we? Someone's got germs. Wonder how. Oh, probably because people are messing about with this room and is the sink hooked up properly? It is hooked up properly. Oh, people have probably just accidentally covered themselves in germy water while they've been doing something involving this. I don't know. Come on. You said you were planting a seed earlier. You said you were rummaging for seeds. You're idle. You're glum. You're hungry. Why aren't you doing this? Yeah, okay, let's keep hooking up these volcanoes in the meantime. So we actually just want to, instead of dropping it off here randomly, we'll actually bring this up and around. So I guess this will feed it on up through here. And then we'll go, oh no, go up here. Oh, you're doing it! You're doing it! Then we'll connect it there. And then we'll deconstruct this. And that way all the iron is just being delivered straight to the refineries. You're doing the thing! Yes! He planted a cactus. Right, okay. So now we deconstruct that, we do that. We tell them to deliver more seeds. Oh, okay, not just general seeds, we'll deliver the specific seeds. Yes! So, plants, 1. Need 4 wild plants for a nature reserve. You alright, Meep? You just enjoying life? He's like, I'm going to will the seed into the storage bin. My mind powers. And now I'm going to rummage it again. Great. Let's... Well, I'm not worried about the door for now. We'll sort that out later. But yes, we did it. We're making a completely man-made nature reserve outside our exosuit dock. So earlier, what is going on here? Probably just because we're building a load of conveyor rails. But what we did earlier is we had individual kilograms of algae that we put here with storage bins. You could probably do it with conveyors and chutes, but I just did it with storage bins. And then we basically pumped a load of oil into the volcano room, turned off the steam turbines, got the oil to about like 200 degrees C, and then we dropped it individually on each tile with liquid shutoffs, ceramic pipes, all that stuff. And we cooked the algae into dirt tiles. And now the pit will plant in the dirt tiles. And we can have a nature reserve. I'm going to fill it with cacti, because I don't think anything else is going to grow here. And I'd quite like live plants in the nature reserve. So let's actually get on with this, because the pip's going to want to plant that sooner rather than later. But yeah, it actually worked. And I've never done this before, so I'm pleased that happened. We also expanded our natural gas room, so we're making fertilizer now. Off the polluted gas from the natural gas, polluted water from the natural gas generators, we're making fertilizer. I'm not currently sure what we're going to use it for. I think you could use it in rockets as oxidizer. So I imagine we're going to make like a fertilizer-powered rocket at some point. But we just have a lot of dirt and a lot of spare phosphorite. We've got 130 tons of phosphorite now because of all the Drecos. So now the next final important step is seeing if the pip is going to drop the cactus on the tile. And I guess we'll just wait. No point watching a boiled pip. So the chute is working. We've got the iron here. We're going to want to hook the gold straight up to this, I believe. So we'll just deconstruct that. Actually, I don't think we even want to put the gold in the refinery. I think it's just the iron we want to put there, because the gold we'll use for... We could use that for making oxalite if we really want. But we'll probably find other uses for it. So, where's the other iron tamer? The third one is over here. So I think what I'd like to do is... Actually, let's properly insulate this part of the map. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to dig all of this out. I'm going to deconstruct this whole room. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put... hello? Oh, okay. What we're going to do is we're going to put the conveyor chute through the insulated tiles so that it doesn't heat up the base. And we'll lead it all the way out, and then we'll feed it into the refinery again. So is this loop working now? It is. The room's getting quite hot. Cooling appears to be working. But this room is getting a lot colder than the... Well, I don't think it is getting colder than the others. I think we're just trying to release all of the liquid from this room. It's actually at the right temperature now. So, sorry. Yesterday I thought we were going to go to the other planet, but there's still a few more things we want to do here first before we start shipping people over and really committing to that. Hey, he did it! Alright, so yeah, pit planting is a thing and it works. So this is not a nature reserve because we don't have a park sign in it. Or it's not a park because we don't have a park sign in it. So let's put the park sign here. Just for now. It's not in food, it's in furniture. We'll put the park sign here just for now, and we'll see if this works. We'll deconstruct that, set that to top priority. Just put all the cacti in here. How's this building going? It's going alright. Deconstruct that. Wow, good job, guys. Very, very messy. Something like this. Then that, and we'll dig all of this just to get around it. And this is all exosuit zone anyway, so we can just connect it up directly. So for now I'm just going to do this. That should be fine. And then we'll hook the conveyor route up here. And then eventually I'll break the vent. But for now, we'll just leave it like this. We're actually running a bit low on iron ore, so we're going to want to go and mine some more off the map. Yeah, that'll do. There's a lot of iron, but there's loads of iron on this map, or loads of iron ore on this map. And then we probably want to set up another volcano tamer down here, and we can hook that up in a similar sort of way. And then we'll want to tame this iron volcano. And then that should all just be getting dumped in the big steam room, where it will be turned into steel. Okay, I think that's enough joy seeds. So now we can deconstruct that, and it's a park! We did it! So... yeah, we'll just let the pit keep planting the cacti. We'll let it plant 4 cacti, and then we'll get rid of the rest of the tiles, and we'll just put the park sign somewhere tasteful. And then this is done, the nature reserve is done. And I imagine we'll put a load of paintings or something. Yeah, let's do that. So, how many tiles wide is this? 13. We're gonna want the park sign somewhere. We'll do that afterwards. So I should add fertilizer to my list of things. In fact, let's go through the list, because I haven't done that in a while. So, I think that's fine. I think I'm going to add slime and polluted dirt to the list, because we're probably going to want those for things at some point. Sulfur, we want to add to the list. And then, let's see, not clay. I think I'll add refined carbon back to the list. So this is getting too long again now. Fertilizer. Okay. I think we can get rid of data banks for now, because we know we've got enough for 3 technologies. So, where is that? I just scrolled right past it. Yeah, here we go. Okay, that'll do for the list. So we've got 6.2 tons of fertilizer, and we got 6 of that from the printing pod. I have no idea why the printing pod gives you so much fertilizer, but it just does. How much natural gas we got in here now? We got got like 800 kilograms per tile. Nice. Who's idle? Ah, yes, you're a smart one, Frankie. There you go. Have fun. Oh, look, we got a wild glossy Draco. Interesting. Frankie, have you... yeah, okay, there you go. You know, I don't think I've ever seen a wild glossy Draco before. Yes! Pip supremacy! He is doing God's work. But I do want to delete the rest of these and just leave the dirt and its dirty goodness. Let's deconstruct and reconstruct this door. Yeah, this has actually been pretty good. So this part of the base is coming together. The next challenge is going to be transit tubes, I believe. How much plastic we got now? We've got 16 tons of plastic. And we got diamond. Where was the diamond? Oh, there was something we deconstructed. Yeah. We literally found 0 diamond in the oil biome. Does it just not spawn there anymore? We uncovered the whole oil biome. Or is it like a space-only resource now or something? Still got all this magma. But we stored up a decent amount of water. Oh no, we just just stopped pumping the water from here because we need to rebuild the pump and we forgot. I wonder how many cycles that's been like that for. Well, it doesn't seem to matter. We've still been draining the water from the other... I guess we've just been draining the water from over here. You know what? That's maybe a sign that we can actually turn on a 3rd electrolyzer. I believe this is all hooked up to go. How much hydrogen have we got in here? About 250 tiles. It's germy. Okay. Okay, we let germy water into the electrolyzer. And we're currently feeding these plants with germy water, aren't we? Yes. But let's actually keep an eye on what the airborne germ situation is looking like. So we've got slime lung in here. We knew that was going to be a thing. Doesn't look like we're getting any germs from the oxyferns. But we have got germs in the electrolyzer now. And they are being aerosolized. But it's food poisoning, so again, I don't think it matters. We'll just keep an eye on that. Yes. Yes. So it's a park. It's a park because the room is not big enough. So that's it, I think. We'll deconstruct this. And then I guess the Pip can plant wherever he wants the other one. Or we could sweep these back up. Let's sweep these back up. We'll just have the 4 plants in there. Let's not waste the seeds. Yeah, so a few different people are getting food poisoning now because of the germs. Unlock the Radbolt chamber. Interesting. Yeah, let's rebuild the door. And then we'll put the park sign there. And then we're good. Nature reserve. Easy. It was here the entire time. It's built into the base. This is definitely what existed in this area. Yay. So, in the meantime, how are the conveyors going? So, the iron is loaded onto here, but it's not finished at the other end yet. Or is it? It looks like it's finished, but it looks like... Oh, I see. This line is a bit confused. Okay. It's because I've got the automation for the the shut-offs the opposite way around for that one. So we're going to need a conveyor bridge. Tell it where to go. Yes! Now you're going to get all the sweet nature reserve morale. And Pip has escaped. You know what? You've earned your freedom, little Pip. You can wander wherever you want outside now. You can go and plant whatever you want. Yes. You've earned your freedom. Those aren't seats. You can rummage that storage bin all you like. You've done your job. Right. So... you could build another iron tamer. I think that's our project. Yeah, that's that project done for the moment. So this conveyor is still being built. It's going to take a little while. I'm going to need to finish this off. This door. Oh, yeah, submit bioscan. We never did that, did we? Crap. I guess we'll have to do this. Can't dismantle the door until you've gone through it. Or something. Yeah, this will be part of the base eventually. We've got some polluted oxygen up here. I mean, these are working, aren't they? So, probably fine. So let's go through this door. Because the game needs us to go through this door. Oh, I don't think we need any of this. Meep is doing the errand. You've got a very special job to do, Meep. You've got to go open a door. What's behind the door? Nothing. Just need you to open the door so we can figure out how to remove it. And I guess we can put this back in as well then. There you go, you did the thing. Good job, you get a gold star. Now you're just going to dismantle it, great. Also, it's like, yay, Meep, you did it! You did the thing! I'm so proud of you, Meep. Yep, and now you just get to stand there. Congratulations. What are we going to put here? Is there something we want to put here? We could probably put the skill scrubber here. Let's do that. We removed the skill scrubber a while ago, but it seems like a very skill scrubber sized spot. We're gonna want that for when we start colonizing the other planet, because I've given these guys way too much morale to live anywhere else. Or way too many skills to live anywhere else. And I'm not going to bother with a nature reserve here. Although, I mean, it'd be fairly easy, actually. But people rarely go in here. They're usually going to go out here or here. Still got a little bit of natural gas out here, but I'm not worried about that now. So we've accumulated a large amount of polluted water from this geyser. We're going to keep accumulating more. And at the moment we've got this water in here so that we can research from it, but we're eventually going to want it from the things. And we also do need more food. So, Bristle Blossom Farm? Could put one up here. The only thing is, Mimar is allergic to bristle blossoms. Maybe not for now. What other farms could we do, Mr. Pip? So, we don't have slime, so mushroom farm's probably off the table. We have salt water, but we're evaporating it. Maybe we do nosh beans. That could be fun. I don't think I've actually done nosh beans before. Nosh bean. Oh, okay, that's not what we needed. Nosh sprout. So they require dirt and ethanol, and they need to be kept at a cold temperature. We're kind of struggling to keep the base cool as it is. Maybe we do just do bristle blossoms and we just restrict access. Yeah, I'm just going to set the bristle blossoms up in this room. We've only got a few seeds for now, but we can get more. I just want some of the juicer as well, because we do eventually want the juicer to work. Like, one of my personal missions is to make sure that, like, we can get every type of recreation building to work. So, 1, 2... that's not quite right. Like that. Yeah, we can do it like that. So, wires, we just hook them up like this. This is where the oxyferns used to be. We moved them down a layer. So we'll just put the bristle blossoms up here now. We'll plant those. It's too warm. But I feel like that's easily solved by us using this cooling loop that we've already set up for this purpose. Right, let's deconstruct this pointless shut-off. Isn't actually doing anything anymore. Deconstruct this. And we'll just deconstruct this for now. Sweep up the water. So this is currently, like, very cold. So we'll just bring it over the bristle blossoms this way. We'll have granite tile. Bring it back here. Let's deconstruct. I set this up a while ago so that it would try cooling the water, but I think I'm just going to not even bother with that. Like, I'm pretty sure that eventually, through dumb luck, we'll just end up with a gob fry in here, and we'll purify this all. But I've covered it with water for now. I'm not even slightly concerned about it anymore. So I'm actually just gonna deconstruct this. We have better things to try and cool down. Literally. So that can just go across like that. And I'm not even going to be fancy about it now, we'll just see how that goes. Principles. Sure. It's overheating. I don't know. I'm definitely not doing this right. Yeah. Deconstruct that. Actually, that's alright for now. Yeah. Now it's doing it properly. We'll leave that in there until this is drained. And then we'll sweep all of this. Eventually this room's going to cool down. But I don't even want to cool it that much, I just want to get it to 30. So let's deconstruct pipe. Look at all the Paku. How many Paku we got now? Got 61 Paku. So that number just keeps increasing linearly, which is what I like to see. So we've got that AND gate there. Why do we have an AND gate? Yeah, let's get rid of this. We never actually used it. Go away. We're just gonna brute force it. And eventually this will fill with bristle blossoms. And we'll set it so that Mima is not allowed in. In fact, we've already done that for Mima. And will she cope? And I think I'll do this. Yeah, I already did the same bit here. So Mima shouldn't have any reason to go in here, which is where the legit reaction germs will be. So I think that's good enough. Let's continue with the research. So now we want to spend our 3 techs. So let's get pressurized forging, because we want to be able to make diamonds. How else are we going to get the diamond armor? Something's overheating. Power transformer. Yep. Yeah, we've got so much plastic. I feel like we're in a pretty good position to start building the transit tubes. So the question is, where are we going to have the entrances and how we're going to hook them up? I feel like it makes sense to have the transit tube entrances over here. So I feel like this is the main exit and this can go down, it can go up. We can deconstruct these tiles now. Deconstruct these. Deconstruct these. Got the natural gas block there now. That was the other thing that was stopping me from transit tiling, because it just wasn't very neat. Now it is nice and neat with this edge. Transit tubing. It occurs to me that I've been mixing up my words a lot tonight. It looks like we're out of lime, so that's why I haven't made any more steel. Christ, people have been earning a lot of skill points. Let's go through and give everyone their training. I think I'm going to train people up to 30 morale and then I'm going to leave them. Because any more and it's going to start being a hassle. So kind of running out of things to actually give people to do. Yeah, I think that'll do. I'll just get everyone up to 30 morale and then I might start skill scrubbing people or something. Right, I think I'll do. Looks like the bathrooms are enough for 24 dupes. I think if I was going to have more dupes, I'd put in another set of bathrooms. I feel like the hot tub still hasn't actually worked. Like the water is more or less at the right temperature now. A bit too cold, but the hot tub is too hot. And I don't think it's going to cool down anytime soon. But I also don't feel like wasting any more time on that. So we can deconstruct this. I believe we can deconstruct this, because we aren't worried about the natural gas anymore. And then... I think for now, have the ladder come down here, and then we'll fire pole it. Starting to run out. I am actually starting to run out of metal ore, so we're gonna have to go on a digging expedition as well. Something like that. And then we can start putting in the transit tubes. So I believe that's utilities? No. Base, yes. So transit tube access, each one will consume 960 watts. And it'll stop drawing power once it's fully charged. But I think we can just hook them up to power circuits, and it will just charge them up incrementally off the thing. So we'll just put in one to start, and then we'll expand them. So we want to make it out of... I don't believe it overheats, so we'll just do... Let's do lead. Put it there. I mean, how far away is this from the other chute? I don't know, I don't think it really matters. We'll put a door here. We will do transit tube coming up here. Transit tubes bend in funny ways. But actually, we won't be able to do it like that. We'll have to come off... Okay, we'll have to actually come off here. I think we may need to... Okay. We need to swap some of our ladders and fire poles around. So we'll need to deconstruct the ladders here. I believe we'll have the fire pole here and the ladders here. Because the fire pole benefits from not being interrupted. So then we'll deconstruct these. And we'll put the fire pole. Actually, we can just... Yeah, we can just do this. And we'll see how far we can expand this network. And then, in terms of consumers, those are generators. This one is consumers. We need bridge across here and hook it up here. Yeah, this won't overheat, so that's good. And then we can wall this off. I typically have 31 tiles between fire poles. So it's probably just going to be a small room that we'll do here. But that's fine. This bit's just going to be irregularly shaped because we've got the volcano, we've got the natural gas bit, and we've got this geyser down here, so that's fine. So that's charging up, and that is not overstressing this wire, that's good. Then we can just start building tubes. Tubey tubey tube. Then we can go around here. Deconstruct this. Probably doesn't make sense to do the fire pole down here. Sorry, guys. So we'll deconstruct these ladders. Yes, it feels like we're really getting somewhere now. And when they're finished with this, they're certainly going to be going places. They're going to be going all sorts of places very fast in the tube. The thing is, these joints aren't perfect insulators, but there may be... I may want to do a tube that goes into the sauna. I was going to put steam turbines on here, but to be honest, there's so much water in here, I'm more just using it as a desalinator than an actual power generator. And it's doing just fine. Like, look at all this salt. Salt. Look at all the salt. You can go and crush it into table salt. To be honest, that's probably how we're getting most of our sand. Like, we've got 143 tons of sand now. I think most of that has been from crushing salt. And I don't really mind crushing it because A, it's renewable, and B, we're not really using these that much. What's the gas pressure looking like? So we've got a few chlorines, but the gas pressure's looking really good now. We let a few gases in here, which is fine. Got some hydrogen up here, not worried about that. Temperature's coming down, so these plants should start growing. Yeah, it seems to me like the loop is working at full capacity. This isn't overheating somehow. Actually working surprisingly well. We've actually got this built already. Yeah, these guys are fast. I believe this one will just have bend around the outside. We saved up a lot of plastics, we can just do this. And... okay. Maybe I'll just put the stop here. I'll put a station here. They can just transit tube up to the sauna. And then we can continue this down here. For now, like this. Do I actually even want to insulate this room? I think I've demonstrated that this can cool properly if... I think what I might do is I might deconstruct these tiles, deconstruct these tiles, and just seal it off. I don't think we're going to need to go back in here. This is good to go now, I think. We did leave some metals in here. Ooh, we left tungsten in here. Could do like an emergency sweep in here. In fact, yeah, let's... oh, okay. Well, it's going to be downtime soon. I've got about one cycle left. I can do this, really, so I'm going to speed to it. I'm going to speed to it. We're going to clean this room up. We're going to seal it off. And then we'll have the ladder go down here. And we'll have the transit tube just run around the outside. This vent. I could move it here. I just need to keep it separate from the carbon dioxide vent. Yeah, I'm going to do that. This looks silly. So let's deconstruct that. Vents can go here. Like that. I'm actually going to yellow priority this just so it gets done right away. Don't forget about it. Oh, never mind. Sorry guys, you just woken up to a load of yellow alerts. Have fun. We could build this ladder as well, but that's not really a problem. Yeah, let's do this. We don't want to do the fire pole shimmy. No one wants to do the fire pole shimmy. But yeah, we'll just get all the stuff out of here. That shouldn't take you guys very long. Sweep this to... building broken. Oh no! Pipe broke again. How to stop pipe from breaking? Oh no! That was the wrong thing. I deconstructed the thermo aqua tuner. Right, that was made out of steel. And that was reverse, I think? Yeah, okay. Yeah, please rebuild that. Oh no! The polluted water is off-gassing. Get out of here. No! It broke. Sweep this. Now. Do it. Good grief. Well, it was all working well, and then we just broke everything. It probably won't take you very long to fix this. There's a lot of polluted water. Eesh. I think it's getting deleted by the steam pressure, though. I guess we'll see. I just have a feeling it's not going to stick around forever. We'll deconstruct the liquid pipe. How's the sweeping going? Is that stuff all actually getting swept? So we've got the transit tubes going around the outside. Do we need transit tubes inside the base? Is that ever worth doing? We did leave a column free for it. At the moment, I'm not really thinking of anywhere. We can do that afterwards. I believe this is being stored somewhere. Yeah, I'm sure that polluted oxygen will go away. If not, we can just keep dumping water in here until it does. Lindsay, why are you the one building this? look at your hat. Do you think you should be the one building this? No. There's probably some Dreco that you need to be giving a hug or something. But you're doing it. You're getting there. There you go. No power wire connected. Oh, good grief! I disconnected the power wire too. That wasn't very smart. No liquid output. Yes. Okay, there we go. We do just want to keep sweeping all this stuff. I don't want to leave the tungsten in here after we seal off the room. Got 60 alerts left. I believe in you guys, you can do it. Then we can deconstruct the ladder here. And we can span the transit tube. But we need an actual exit. I believe this is functioning as an exit for now. I just want to see someone get in the tube. That's like the last thing I want to see today, because I'm gonna wrap up probably in the next 15 minutes. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, he's in the tube. He's in the tube. Whee! There you go. So we can actually just have this exit out like this. And then people can get straight to the sauna from the base. It seems reasonable. What I'm probably going to want to do is I'm probably going to want to put a transit tube station here. I could deconstruct this. Let's deconstruct this, get those resources. We'll put a transit tube station there at some point. I don't know why I've got all these ladders. We can just do this. Got a tile of rust that we just never dug up for some reason. are the yellow alerts doing? I believe they're still getting done. Well, I hope someone does them. Can we actually get here still? Yeah, we can. So Ada is research supplying, so you're not going there. Does feel like no one's doing this. Do I actually care enough about this? Water, tungsten. No, I don't think I do. So what about this? Polluted water. There is a very small amount of polluted oxygen there. I think this definitely does need to go in a bottle emptier. Do we even have anywhere to empty polluted water anymore? I'm pretty sure this is where we do it. Maybe this is what we need to do. So where is Ada going? Okay, that's not exactly what I was looking for. We can get in here. You have got permission to go in here. Need this to be done as well. I guess that's not doing what's intended, so let's switch that. Oh, and we can get rid of the thermosensors. I don't think we need those in here anymore. I don't think we're going to try and actively cool this water anymore. We're just going to cool this room. And the bristle blossoms are growing, so that's a sign that the polluted water is working. I mean, yeah, ethanol wasn't a bad choice, but the polluted water just has more heat capacity. At the moment, the fridge is too hot. But at the moment, we also don't have any calories stored. We need to eat some more guys. Oh man, that's a lot of pips. How many pips have we got in here? We got 223 again. That's a good number of pips. There you go. Enjoy. Yeah, it's been a pretty productive day, to be honest. We revamped the natural gas room. So we've got two power plants in here now because we're feeding this from the second geyser from the swamp biome somewhere ages ago. We've got an infinite storage of natural gas here. It's spent, so we've got like a literal ton of gas per tile. I'm sure that won't backfire anytime soon. We've got a fertilizer machine here, so we're slowly making fertilizer now, presumably for plants. Probably put a farm station here at some point, but we just want to get the seeds going at the moment. We made our own nature reserve. We made some dirt tiles by dropping algae here with storage bins. We'll probably do it easier with conveyor loaders or conveyor chutes. And then we brought some oil into the volcano room. We cooked it to like 250 degrees, and then we used liquid shutoffs and switches to drop it on the individual tiles. And then we could cook the dirt. And then we just had a pip come in here and plant the cacti. And we did that earlier. I'll make sure that's on my YouTube channel as well. I do have a YouTube channel, and I do upload the VODs there. And if anything particularly interesting happens, I'll upload it there as well. So I might do a highlight there or something about this. So I've never done this before. Now you can just put nature reserves wherever you want. Is this actually getting done? Is this getting done? Yeah, there we go. And we've still got a very small amount hanging around, but it is getting deleted. So I'm just not going to worry about that. It's eventually a problem that will solve itself. And then let's just tile this up. We moved the thermoregulator out of the base because the tree was just getting too hot. Temperatures in the base are starting to get a bit more manageable again. Heat is coming in because the electrolyzers are running hot, and we've got some cooling through there, but it's not perfect. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I think what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to use the polluted water for general base cooling, like the farms and all that stuff. And I think what I'll do is I'll set up a different cooling loop for the fridge specifically with ethanol, because it can get colder. Because I don't think this polluted water is going to get cold enough to consistently deep freeze. I mean, we just stored all the ethanol down here, so we could just hook that back up fairly quickly. But yes. Yes, unfortunately it's that time of night. I'm gonna have to head off. But yeah, tomorrow we'll put the ethanol loop in a different place, and we'll just get this just on ethanol. We'll keep doing transit tubes. We'll probably hook up the rest of the iron volcanoes tomorrow. I am probably going to play this tomorrow morning because my girlfriend's at work. So there's already a lot more I need to do at the moment. So we'll hook up the remaining 2 iron volcanoes. And once we've got the freezer sorted, I think we can actually start colonizing the other planet. That was kind of the plan today, but there were a few systems that were still kind of not working properly. And I want to make it so I can just focus on the other planet when I start doing stuff there. Why are you on the wheel? Man, this is fine. That's an interesting dupe. Yeah, we'll get some more ethanol. Yeah, people are going to use the transit tube now. We can bring this all the way down here. And I think I'll just end it here for now. So, thank you for watching. I don't think there's anyone specific that I have to raid. Right. Just have a look. No, I don't think so. So, yeah. I think I'm just going to leave you, but thanks for stopping by. It's been a pretty productive stream. And yeah, looking forward to doing some more of this tomorrow morning when I'm not knackered from work. But yeah, take care, and I will see you guys around. Bye for now.